Good afternoon, you're listening to The Social on Talksport 2. Me, Max Scott, alongside Dan Bardell. I'm going to be getting Dan's verdict on Villa shortly. Still yet to score a goal in the Premier League. A set-piece coach kicked him out of the League Cup. It's been an absolute stinker, and we'll try and put the world to rights as to why on earth that's happening. And I'm sorry, Dan, but it does make me feel a little bit better about my club's predicament, I must say.
Well, you've won a game and you've scored a few goals, haven't you? So
yeah.
I imagine most people are feeling better about their team than me at the moment.
As well, on the opposite end of the spectrum, Geordie Jack Cunningham is going to be with us to preview Newcastle against Barcelona. It could have been us, Dan. It could have been one of us as well. If it wasn't for Forest capitulating on the last day against Chelsea, a shocking refereeing decision at Old Trafford. How the tables could have turned. And as well, we've got Twitter Corner coming up. We're going to be talking West Ham. Is Slaven Bilic lined up to take over from the measly Graham Potter? Who knows? But first, Aston Villa legend Gabby Bonlahor says the club will have to accept they will not be able to replicate their achievements of last season. Pretty strong words. And is expecting more challenges ahead for Unai Emery's side. After a challenging summer, they're yet to win, yet to score in the Premier League. And Gabby says top 10 should be their new target after the start they've made. What do you make of that, Gabby? Not Gabby. What do you make of that, Dan? I mean, obviously, would you take top 10? That's what he's saying now should be a realistic hope and expectation. Or would you still be disappointed if you just scraped into the top half?
I think the key thing there is that, obviously, Gabby's entitled to his opinion. I think if Unai Emery thought that was the height of what we could do this season, I think he'd probably just walk away, to be honest. This is a man that qualifies every team he manages for Europe every single season in some description. So his aim will still be European football. It's been a horrendous start to the season. I didn't ever see this coming. A few people maybe did to some extent, but the struggles in front of goal and just not looking like a unit and not even really looking like scoring in most games. I didn't see that coming at all because under Unai Emery, Villa have scored lots of goals for 2.5, 3 years. Villa will still look at it as in there's enough time left to salvage the season. It's only 4 games in the Premier League. Obviously, getting knocked out of the Carabao Cup was a blow. I think it's probably more of a blow to the fans because they're so desperate to see the club win something because we haven't won anything since 1996. But I think we can still finish top 7, which is where I would have expected us to be in and around. And we've still got the Europa League, which is a massive thing for us this season because it kills 2 birds with one stone. If we can try and win that's Champions League football and winning a trophy, which is something we haven't done since 1996. So there's plenty to play for, but there's no doubting that it's a difficult time, and we haven't really had a time like this since Unai Emery's been at the club. So it's hard to understand and hard to take in what's happening at the moment.
Forest, Villa, 2 managers that know how to win European titles. Could you see Forest Villa final potentially? That'd be great, wouldn't it?
At the moment, it's hard to see us scoring a goal.
Where is the final?
Ever again.
Where is the
I haven't got a clue, and I should know that. In all honesty, I haven't even looked.
Conference League was Leipzig.
Yeah.
But anyway, me and you scrapping on the streets of some foreign city.
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's have a straightener before the Europa League.
A standoff.
Yeah. I don't think either of us are looking like we'll get there at the moment. In all honesty,
I know. I'm going over to Seville next week for the Betis game. But you said to me off air, and I do think that those European evenings will provide like a helpful respite from what we're seeing, the chaos off the pitch and then in the Premier League, and can hopefully sort of kickstart your season. Are you hoping for that? Who have you got in your opening European fixture?
We're at home, so we've got Bologna, who we played in last season's Champions League. It's a bit weird because obviously, Gabby, I do agree with the kind of spoilt thing because last year playing Champions League was something I'd never seen us do, and it was such a great experience. I absolutely loved us being in the top tier of European football. And when I was watching the game last night, the Liverpool game, I did kind of think like that feels a long time ago now since we were having those nights at Villa Park being in the Champions League. But Europa League's a realistic chance a trophy. I guess it's just weird because we played Bologna in the Champions League last year and it's going to be in the Europa League, so it's hard not to think of it as a step down. But before Unai Emery came in, we were nowhere near Europe. Like, we weren't qualifying for Europe. We hadn't been in European competition for a long, long time. So 3 consecutive years of European football is not to be sniffed at all. But something needs to change for us at the moment because in the here and now, we are not good enough.
What do you make of the likes of Jadon Sancho, Harvey Elliott? Do you think that they can be the players, the new signings, to give you that injection of energy and change your fortunes?
I was really pleased to get Elliott because it was unexpected, and he's going to sign permanently once he's played 10 games. He'd come off the back of a brilliant Euros and has been a part of a team in Liverpool that have done really, really well over the years under Klopp and obviously under Slot last season as well. So he's a winner.
I'd agree.
for me. And although he's not the quickest, I think he works hard, and he'll set the tone, and he's a really, really good player for us to have. With Sancho and Lindelof, who were obviously the other deadline day signings, you could have gone and got them at any point during the window. So it looks a little bit panicky from Villa. It looks a little bit desperate. I think Villa basically had to wait till the last day to know the maximum headroom of what they could bring in, know who was going to be leaving, what the squad was going to look like. So I can understand why they had to wait to do those moves. Weirdly, I've got a feeling that Sancho might work. He played as a left 10 against Brentford on Tuesday. I think that's the perfect role for him, playing under Unai Emery. If you'd have dropped Sancho into the Villa team over the last couple of seasons with the way we've played football, brilliant. I think that's great. The way we're playing at the moment is just so slow. We've got absolutely no width, no pace. We're a difficult watch, if I'm being honest. But Unai Emery's an intelligent man and a clever man.
Yeah.
When I'm watching Villa, I don't for 1 second think he's sending Villa out to play in this way. Like that just can't be what's happening. So at some point, a reset button needs to be hit. He needs to kind of land on a team. I don't think we know what our best 11 is at the moment in terms of the three that are going to play off Ollie Watkins, because I think they all want to play in the same areas and play in the same position, so that we're struggling to fit everyone in, or someone's going to have to play out of position on the right-hand side, and we're going to have to try and make something work, because that right-hand side is a massive problem for us at the moment. I think my biggest concern at the moment is that you look at the fixtures that we've played so far. If you look at the corresponding fixtures last year, I think we took 10 points. To be sat on 2 points and having not scored a goal in those corresponding fixtures, I think things like that are important, and this was supposed to be our kind of better run of games at the start of the season.
It just feels like stagnation. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
And I just wonder how have you reached your limit? I know it's an honest reflection, from Gabby, but is that just maybe the truth, that it's so difficult to compete there year in, year out? Tricky game Sunday, just quickly. I mean, you're hoping for a point, you're hoping for a goal. I mean, what's the ambition?
A goal would be nice. In the Premier League, of course, it's been 6 games, 5 games overall in the Premier League, 6 games overall without a goal now, following on from that horrible game at Old Trafford at the end of last season. I just think at the moment it's not an ideal fixture being away. No. Again, we were away last week. I think last week wasn't a bad point at Everton in the end. You go into somewhere where I think they've won both their home games so far. Their tails are up. The atmosphere is going to be really, really good. From what I've seen of Sunderland, they've got a few of the attributes that we just don't have at the moment in terms of that pace and that mobility on the flanks. I think they're the kind of team that we struggle against, and Villa are capable at the moment, unfortunately, of just going to an away day and dropping an absolute stinker. It's live on Sky as well, so the whole nation's watching. I just don't think it's an ideal game back, in all honesty. I'm looking at the week after Thursday, Bologna at home, and Sunday, Fulham at home. I'm looking at is that maybe when the season starts to turn.
Well, I hope that's the case for you, mate, and I hope that my club can see a similar sort of resurgence, but it does just feel a little bit bleak for our clubs at the minute. It does. But we're going to be turning our attention to a club that feels a lot more exciting at the minute. You're listening to the Talksport 2 Social with William Hill, 18+, begambleaware.org. Next up, Newcastle Barca.